A huge thank you to every one of my Super TF addicts on Patreon, Ko-fi, and PayPal. If you want to see your name here, by all means, feel free to click the links down in the description down below and become a Super TF addict today.
TFA 1024, where your entertainment will be transformed. Transformers.
It's a universal war that never stops. Who will win? Decepticons or Autobots? It's a universal war that never stops. Who will win? Decepticons or Autobots? The battle rages on. It's war for Cybertron.
Wow, weep, Grogna, weep, Ninny-Bong, my fellow addicts. This is TFA 1024, the Transformers Addict, coming to you with yet another TFA review. And in this video review, we're going to go and take a look at the Transformers Siege 35th Anniversary Voyager Class Soundblaster. But of course, like per standard TFA reviews, before we take a look at Soundblaster, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the packaging. And a new thing involving stop motion that I like to call Boxovision. And here we have Soundblaster in his vehicle mode. I guess. Vehicle mode. I don't know what to call this. There's nothing in the instructions of what it's called, to my knowledge. It just does not look good to me. It's just a box with some skis and some wings, and it just looks funky. And I don't like it all that much. It's creative, I guess. But apparently it's supposed to be some sort of dropship because of that tiny little cockpit. Maybe it's some sort of communications type satellite thing. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Don't know what to call this. But Siege Soundblaster 35th Anniversary. It's just that. It's a redeco of Soundwave. And that's pretty much what he was originally back in the Transformers Headmasters series. So, because I mentioned him, here's Soundblaster with Siege Soundwave. See how they look together, and there's not much in terms of differences. The only difference is that Soundblaster here has a lot more diverse colors of paint, whereas Soundwave kind of just has mainly blue, little accents of black, and a lot of silver with a little bit of extra coloring right here, yellow, and a little bit of pink right there with some nice gold. But I feel like Soundblaster pulls it off a bit better because he has, like, instead of gold, he has like this goldenrod color. He's got some red, he's got some orange and yellow, and all of that black with that weathering effect, and then you have that nice transparent plastic for the cockpit as well as the chest for what will be his robot mode. Now I just like the way it looks a lot better than Soundwave. And I'm not hating Soundwave because technically I'm not. He's the same character. He's just revived after him and Blaster pretty much killed each other. But nonetheless, I like him. I like him a lot more than I like Soundwave because I'm a sucker for black decos. What can I say? So, get Soundwave out of here. But of course, just like Soundwave, he does come with weapons. So he comes with his iconic Sonic Blaster, I think is what it used to be called in the Generation 1 cartoon. I could be wrong, I don't know, but set that down there. He also comes with his iconic shoulder cannon. It was very nice. Picked out in some very nice molding detail. Makes it look like a Cybertronian battery, which is pretty cool. And he also comes with this thing, which can be used as a blaster, or maybe a bazooka. I don't know. Imagination, it's a thing. You can use it. So, there's that. But technically speaking, these are the weapons that Soundwave had, because it's the exact same figure, just repainted. These are called the, what is it? The H-Kep Concussion Blaster, which I think is the Sonic Blaster right here. Could be wrong. No, the Sonic Blaster is a shoulder cannon. So this is the HI-KEP Concussion Blaster. This is the LR-HD Sonic Cannon, Mach 2 for both of those. And then this is the EMXT Blitz Charge Blaster, Mach 2. Because Soundblaster's instructions has them called Mach 2, or M2, so my assumption was right with Chromar. That's exactly what it means. And you can take these, and you can plug them here. What I like to do is I like to make sure it's matched on the side that these are supposed to go on. So for Soundblaster, I want to make sure that the sonic cannon goes here. This hand cannon goes here. And then there's no real vehicle storage, weapon storage for the blaster. So what I like to do is go right there. And now you got Soundblaster all weaponed up in vehicle mode. And it's alright. It's not the best weapon storage, but it's not horrible either. So, there you go. And for some very brief size comparisons, here is Soundblaster with the Battlemaster Smashdown, Deluxe Class Wave 4 Barricade, and the Target exclusive Rainmaker 3-pack Voyager Class Acid Storm. Unfortunately, no Leader Class size comparisons, and I do apologize about that, but my review area ain't that big. Please bear with me. Please. Now, of course, much like Soundwave, Soundblaster can also transform into Lamppost mode. That was very iconic in the very first episode of Generation 1, More Than Meets the Eye Part 1. And honestly, it's not really anything spectacular for me, it's just a lamppost, but it's pretty cool that they added it. For transformation, for this guy, it's pretty much exactly like Soundwave, but I haven't reviewed Soundwave yet. So by the power of manual transformation and fast motion, let's go ahead and get Soundblaster from looking like this. To revealing one of the most obscure alt modes since Reflector with it. Not much to say about this. Here he is with Soundwave. And you can lean him in a little more if you really want to. So now you have two lamppost people. It's a thing that can be done if you want to do it, so sure. Lamppost mode. If you remember Soundwave transforming into a lamppost. But let's get to the main event. The robot mode. I would show off the fan mode for the tape deck, but honestly, that's a fan mode. It's not official. If you want to see a fan mode transformation, feel free to let me know down in the comment section down below. But once again, by the power of manual fast motion transformation, let's go ahead and get Soundblaster in lamppost mode from looking like this. To revealing the newly revived Decepticon Communications Officer with it. And here we have Siege Soundblaster in his robot mode. And I absolutely love the way this turned out. I'm really happy that Soundblaster got another figure because the closest we got to an official Soundblaster was the Fall of Cybertron Voyager class with Buzzsaw, which was the only way you could get Buzzsaw, which was clever. But nonetheless... Or no, wait, did he come with Rat Bat? What did he come with? Can't remember. Well, regardless, that was the only Soundblaster we had since Generation 1, and even then I think you had to get, like, the Takara version of Soundblaster, because he was only in Takara in Transformers the Headmasters. So, to have him in a main line at a pretty good affordable price, remolded and retooled and repainted from an already great Soundwave figure, makes me really happy. I'm giddy with excitement. I like Soundblaster. I'm a sucker for resurrected characters with a new look who basically are the same. And I just really like the way he turned out. As I pointed out, he does have some differences from Soundwave, so speaking of him, here he is with Soundwave. And like I said, difference in paint, roughly the same manufactured plastic, except this one kind of has like a darker finish to it. Very different in terms of the overall deco. You have the nice black instead of the blue. You have the nice translucent red and goldenrod color instead of this kind of gold-ish mustard color and silver. Have some nice little accents of red and yellow and more of that dandelion They kind of have the same thing going on. He has gold, he has a little bit more, he has like a pink / fuchsia, and then that bright yellow, but I like the way he turned out nonetheless. And instead of a yellow visor on Soundwave, he gets a red visor on Soundblaster, which is also very nice. I love the way that turned out. But the major difference between him and Soundwave, I just realized these guys aren't spaced apart properly, is that Soundblaster here has a broader chest to store 2 of the Micromaster cassettes, which we do know we're getting Frenzy and Ratbat, so I only hope we get Rumble and Buzzsaws. So, anyway, open that up and stick the cassettes inside, and be warned, they will stick. So just be careful. And all you have to do is just slide it in. And you will feel it connect. It doesn't snap into place or anything, but you can store 2 as opposed to Soundwave storing just 1. Because newer is better. Not always, though. Sorry, Soundwave, you have to let Soundblaster take center stage, even though you're the same person. So, there you go. There's the weapon, or the Micromaster storage, cassette storage. Now the trick to getting Laserbeak out is just do that. This is a lot easier. And I'm going to get into articulation just to get it out of the way, because it's honestly one of the most tedious things that I can't stand to do in a video review, but I do it for you guys on occasion just because it needs to be done. So, for Soundblaster, the head is on a ball joint. It can look up that far, it can look down that far, it can wiggle, can rotate his head 360 degrees if you're careful, which I would advise doing so because this is exclusive. The shoulders are on a universal joint that can rotate 360 degrees. It can go in and out. The forearms are on a mushroom peg. They can swivel 360 degrees. They also have a nice double elbow because it's a double hinge joint. No wrist articulation, but what it doesn't have in wrist, it makes up for in waist, and he has a very nice waist rotation. Very nice 360 degrees, very smooth, very pleasing. Move this front flap up to accommodate movement, and he has a very nice kick. He can kick back that far. He also can swivel at the knee. The thigh can also go, or the hip can go in and out as well, so he has a very nice high kick if you want him to do so. And the ankle is on a very nice but slight pivot. So there's the articulation for Soundblaster.
Transformers.
So for some brief size comparisons, here he is with the Micromaster Soundwave Spy Patrol Laserbeak, the Battlemaster Smashdown, Deluxe Class Impactor, and of course, his previous form, Soundwave. And you can see how they all look together. And I think that works pretty well. Again, apologies, there is no leader class size comparison, but I don't have them in robot mode, and I honestly do not feel like transforming them. Plus, it wouldn't really make sense because I didn't show them off in vehicle mode. So, it sounds lazy, but hey, at least I'm honest. But still, apologies nonetheless.
Transformers.
Before I do end this video review real quick, I just realized throughout this video review I have made an error. These little bits that were part of the lamppost mode are actually supposed to rotate back for more articulation. So now he can actually do a lot more, and he can even do his iconic insert cassette name here, eject pose, if you want him to do that. So I apologize for that. I'm only human. I make mistakes. You don't gotta tell me.
Transformers.
So my overall thoughts on Siege Soundblaster is he's a lot of fun. He's a nice repaint of an already existing Soundwave, and I really like that Hasbro and Takara made a Soundblaster because it is a very rare occurrence to actually have a mainline Soundblaster. He was an oddity back then. Apparently, he was a reformatted version of himself, aka Soundwave, after the demise of Blaster, who then later became Twincast. So it's like the rivalry began, and I just think it was probably because of toy sales back then. I mean, hey, the 86 movie proved it. So I like his transformation. It's not too frustrating, it's not too complex, it's kind of right there in the middle. His vehicle mode is unknown. I don't know what to call it. It could be a spaceship. It could be some sort of land-based cruiser type thing. It could be some sort of communications-based vehicle mode. I don't know what it is. I choose not to have him in that form sometimes. The lamppost mode is really dumb, but I like it because it's a nice homage to the original Generation 1 appearance of Soundwave in his lamppost mode. The fan mode tape deck form is also really cool. Unfortunately, you have to pop off the arms from the shoulder joints, and they're just on mushroom pegs, but still, something you shouldn't have to do, but it looks good without the arms. So, or it looks better, rather. It looks more solid. It looks like a brick. And the robot mode is gorgeous. Like I said, I'm a sucker for a black repaint, and Soundblaster here scratches all the itches that I wanted in a Soundblaster figure. Because while we have this Fall Cybertron Soundblaster, that wasn't the official Soundblaster that I wanted. And after 35 years of waiting, Soundblaster finally comes to us in a nice modern generations figure, and he looks really good with his fellow Decepticon compatriots. I mean, I have the original cast right here for my headcanon. No comment wars, but I have Galvatron, aka former Megatron. I have Scourge, aka who I like to think is Thundercracker, and I got Cyclonus. And a lot of people are probably gonna get on me for this. Who I like to think is Skywarp. So, because Skywarp is kind of my second favorite Seeker. But it's like you have the original cast right here, so that's pretty cool. There's not really much else to say about him. I mean, he is nothing but a repaint of Soundwave, but he's a good repaint, and also, I think he was one that needed to happen. So it was a wise choice that they actually made him. But as a recommendation standpoint, if you want a fun, good-looking Soundblaster to add to your Decepticons, by all means, feel free to pick him up. He's affordable. He's on Walmart.com, to my knowledge. And I think he might get a retail release. I mean, Red Wing all of a sudden showed up at Target, so anything's possible, but we have not heard anything officially from Hasbro, so my best option for you guys, or recommendation, is to go online on Walmart.com and see if you can find him. He should be available, should be able to ship to your home or ship at your local Walmart, and get him, pick him up in person. So he is out right now. My order came in last Thursday. I've been meaning to make this review for a while, and I'm just really glad he's finally here. He looks great, and I could not be any happier. So as a recommendation standpoint, definitely pick him up if you want him in your collection. If not, save your money, get something else that you really want. Save up for Leader Astro Train, save up for Voyager Apeface. Whatever it is you want to do, save your money, pick up what you want. But me personally, I picked him up because I had a feeling he was going to be kind of a rarity, and he was probably going to sell out probably just as quick as Blue Streak. So definitely pick him up if you want to, and if you're that, if you're that, like, not really obsessive, but if you're that desirable for a Soundblaster. Because while Soundblaster isn't necessarily a necessity to your collection, he is a very nice addition to it and looks very good with your generation's Decepticons. So pick him up if you want to, because I recommend, so you can decide. But that's pretty much all there is to say, my fellow addicts. So this has been the TFA review on the Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy Voyager Class 35th Anniversary Walmart exclusive Soundblaster. And I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. But before I go, I also just want to thank you guys watching all the way to the very end of this video review. It clearly shows me that I'm doing something right, and it shows me that you're enjoying whatever I do, no matter the length or no matter how long you have to wait for the next video. Your support matters, and I greatly appreciate it. So please, continue to show your support in the various ways you decide to do so. And please also remember, do what you do, love what you love, and live life with a smile. And if you're a fellow Transformers reviewer, like myself, please also remember, you don't have to be number one to have fun. So with all that being said, my fellow addicts, pretty much all there is to say. So please remember, until next time, to get addicted, stay addicted, and TF Addicts for life! This is TFA 1024, the Transformers Addict, rolling out till all are one.
Transformers, more than meets the eye.